This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. And this could be big. Qualcomm and Alphabet are joining forces to combine chips and software to allow automakers to create their own unique in-car AI assistants that will work without relying on a person's phone. Qualcomm also announced that Android OS for automotive will now be able to run on its newest chips. We're talking about the operating system for a car, not Android Auto, which interfaces a phone with the car's infotainment screen. Its latest automotive chips are called Snapdragon Cockpit Elite and Snapdragon Drive Elite. Cockpit Elite is for IVI, or in-vehicle infotainment, while Drive Elite is for autonomous driving. Cockpit Elite offers 3 times the graphic processing power than before and can run 16 display screens with 4K resolution. It can also process input from 40 different sensors. While automakers can buy separate Drive Elite and Cockpit Elite chips, Qualcomm will also offer them on one chip for parts consolidation. Qualcomm will make the latest Snapdragon chips available to automakers next year, and it says Mercedes-Benz and Li Auto have already signed up to use them. Through the first 9 months of the year, Ram sales are down 24% in the U.S., but they rebounded significantly in October after boosting incentives. According to Ram CEO Chris Fuel, Ram sales are up 35 to 40% so far this month. Ram's inventory levels in the U.S. were at least double the industry average in August, according to Cox Automotive. So it boosted incentives to help clear out inventory, which comes ahead of the launch of the all-electric Ram 1500 REV and the extended range Ram Charger at the end of the year. Nexstar Energy, the battery joint venture formed by Stellantis and LG Energy Solution, just achieved a big milestone. The company announced it started battery module production at its plant in Ontario, Canada. The site is also on track to produce battery cells starting in 2025. Once the plant is fully up and running, it will have the capacity to produce nearly 50 gigawatt hours a year, which Stellantis says is enough to power 450,000 vehicles a year.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Teijin Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.
Tesla's Autopilot system is getting better in the U.S. According to the company's vehicle safety report, there was just one accident for every 7.08 million miles driven on Autopilot in the third quarter. That's up from 5.9 million miles in Q3 of last year and a slight jump over Q2, although it's still trying to work back up to the first quarter of the year when there was a crash every 7.6 million miles on Autopilot. By comparison, it showed that Tesla vehicles not using Autopilot got in an accident every 1.3 million miles driven, which is better than the national average of one accident every 670,000 miles. But it is important to note that Tesla's numbers do not include FSD data or things like weather conditions. Was the driver or the tech at fault? How bad was the crash, or were people hurt or killed? According to NHTSA and the National Safety Council, there's a fatal accident in the U.S. roughly every 100 million miles driven. Rivian has struggled to ramp up production at its plant in Normal, Illinois, and according to a new report from Bloomberg, the EV startup is also struggling to keep its workers safe. The company has received 16 initial citations of serious violations since the beginning of 2023 from the U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or what you probably know as OSHA. That number is more than any other automaker, even though Rivian only operates the one plant and has significantly fewer employees than its competitors. Some of the injuries include a cracked skull, a broken foot, an amputated finger, and a back laceration that required surgery. One woman even said she started vomiting Rivian blue after painting vehicles without a respirator. In a statement, Rivian said the health and safety of its workers is a top priority and that most of the violations were downgraded or dismissed as part of settlements with OSHA. However, former OSHA leaders interviewed by Bloomberg say those initial citations reveal more about workplace safety issues, and one said the complaints, citations, and injuries are all red flags. Looks like Waymo is going to get robotaxis with a giant opening for passengers to get in and out. This is the Zeekr mix. Waymo and Zeekr have a partnership to make robotaxis, and the Waymo Zeekr robotaxi is based on the same platform as the mix. As you can see, the mix has the option for both a sliding passenger front and rear door, which provides that big opening. It also comes with a swiveling front seat, which would make a lot of sense for a robotaxi as well. Some people thought that the Waymo and Zeekr partnership might have fallen apart because Waymo just signed a deal to make robotaxis with Hyundai as well. But Waymo confirmed it's still working with Zeekr, and the Hyundai deal is likely in response to the US banning Chinese EVs and tech, and Jaguar announcing that it's killing off the I-Pace, which Waymo also uses in its fleet. The $35,000 version of the Equinox EV is finally here. LT front-wheel drive models have officially started arriving at dealers across the US, and they offer up to 319 miles of range from their 85 kilowatt-hour battery pack. The model also qualifies for the full $7,500 EV tax credit at purchase. So, we're interested to see how sales do because Chevy sold 15,000 Equinox EVs in Q3 without the more affordable version. Volvo Cars reported its third quarter earnings with some very up and down results. It sold almost 173,000 cars globally, up 3%. And with revenue up 1% to $8.7 billion. But its EBIT was down 7% to $537 million. Its net profit was up 35% to $414 million, while its free cash flow was down 9% to almost $87 million. Volvo CEO Jim Rowan says the industry is facing an increasingly volatile environment, and he lowered the company's sales growth for the rest of the year. But that's it for today's show. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering boost your game. Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility. And by ZF.
Developing today's vehicles, issues can happen in an instant. What good is knowing your problems without the data to solve them? Meet Wireless Neovi Cloud, your secure off-the-shelf solution, empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With Wireless Neovi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless Neovi Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Knowing that a little rain won't slow down your day, that's what really matters. Bridgestone Turanza Quiet Track tires, confident control in wet conditions.